Food allergies run in my family, so I'm worried my child will also have them. When should I introduce foods like peanuts, eggs, or cow's milk?
Food allergies clearly do run in families, but just because there are food allergies in the family doesn't necessarily mean that every child is going to come up with food allergy. One of the key factors seems to be whether or not that young infant develops atopic dermatitis or eczema. And it's really we believe now, the sensitization through the skin that's the biggest problem. So if your child has very normal skin, it's not dry, it's not irritated, they are probably at a little less risk of developing any kind of food allergy. The other thing that people are looking at now is trying to supplement what we call the skin barrier, and that's by putting emollients on the skin, such as Vaseline or the various creams, in order to make sure that the barrier is well hydrated, not irritated, and therefore unlikely to promote the development of a food allergy. If the baby does have eczema, then it is worth having the child seen by your physician. A pediatrician, for example, can send off a blood test to things like peanut and egg and determine whether or not the baby has any evidence of the allergic antibody to peanut or egg. In the study that was done looking at the prevention of peanut allergy, it was really those children with eczema or those children who were egg allergic that were at the highest risk of developing peanut allergy. If there is no evidence of the allergic antibody, then the peanut or the egg or even milk in that case can start to be introduced into the diet by 4 to 6 months of age. If the level is higher, then it's a good idea to see an allergist who would then evaluate and determine whether or not those foods could be added safely to the diet. The next question that comes up, and I'll turn it over to you, Marion, is how do you go about adding these particular foods to a young infant's diet?
Right. So obviously, peanut is a food that we wouldn't add in their whole form. So whole nuts are a choking hazard for infants and even for young children under 4 years of age. Many families wonder, how am I going to introduce peanut? Then typically we would recommend using peanut butter, but peanut butter chunks or clumps of peanut butter fed directly from the spoon are also a choking hazard. So we typically would say you would have to modify that peanut butter, and you can modify it by actually adding it to oatmeal or a pureed fruit. That would be fine. Or we can dilute it, and we can dilute it with breast milk or formula or water, usually in a 1-to-1 ratio. So if you're giving 2 teaspoons of peanut butter, you would mix it with 2 teaspoons of breast milk or water or formula, or you can make it even thinner if that's the consistency that your child tolerates. There are peanut flours as well, or peanut powders that are available in the grocery stores, and those can be mixed directly into food. And the peanut butter that's diluted can be fed directly either from the spoon, or it can be, spread on a whole grain toast or a teething biscuit, depending on what age your child is. And then milk or egg, those are foods. Obviously, cow's milk is not what we serve to infants in early childhood, but we certainly can give yogurt. Some spoonfuls of plain full-fat yogurt would be appropriate, or shredded cheese is a great finger food. And scrambled eggs is another great finger food for infants. And these are all healthy additions to the diet as well.